I'll be damned if I see another person that got fired from their job for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death come and bitch about the fact that they lost their job, as if Charlie Kirk didn't lose his life for his opinion.
Are we for real?
Losing your job is nothing compared to what Charlie lost.
Lose your pig meat.
What I really want you to see is the fact that you don't think you should lose your job over the opinions that you have.
Spit it out!
Yet you think it's okay for Charlie to die!
So you think cheering a man's death is just free speech? Watch what happens next. Nurses, teachers, tech leads, suspended, fired, backtracking, because the internet and their employers noticed. We've got the receipts, and each clip goes crazier than the last. Buckle up. Is this real accountability or the cancel machine eating its own? Tell me below before we roll.
I have about as much sympathy for Charlie Kirk right now as I do for all those farmers across the country who want socialist handouts from the government right now. This is a man who hated the LGBTQ community, who hated women's rights, who hated democracy, who thought that he was a big man because he went to college campuses and debated young college students and thought he proved how tough he was with his words that he studied ahead of time. What a piece of garbage. This is what happens. I'm curious if we're going to want to take guns away now from who will inevitably be the white man who shot and killed him. Bye, Charlie.
And there it is, mocking farmers, mocking faith, mocking free speech, and now mocking a man's death. The arrogance drips off every word. These are the same voices that shout about tolerance and compassion, but the second it's someone they despise, suddenly cruelty is celebrated like it's justice. That isn't decency, that's hypocrisy on full display. And here's the truth. You don't have to agree with Charlie Kirk to know that celebrating political violence is crossing a line. Do you think this kind of rhetoric is exposing the left for what they really are? Or are they too far gone to even see it? Drop your answer in the comments. I want to see how many of you are noticing the same double standard.
Oh, buddy. Fuck that nigga. You're gonna get expelled, dude.
So the day after Charlie Kirk died, I was in class. My teacher said, I'll give you 5 minutes for hot takes about Charlie Kirk. I was the only person who raised their hand. I said, I've been saying we need to bring back political assassinations. I don't feel bad, and I don't think that everyone deserves the right to free speech. I think some people should be afraid to express their opinion in public. So this class is literally about revolution in China. All of our readings for this month have been talking about how violent revolution liberated millions of people, it liberated women, and then our reading for that day was specifically about democratic dictatorship, where Mao writes about, yes, people deserve free speech, but there should not be free speech for reactionaries and imperialists and like capitalists and all these people who were enemies of the revolution, because that would reverse the progress that was made.
Think about how twisted this is. A classroom where a teacher literally opens the floor for hot takes on Charlie Kirk's death. And the response is calling for more political assassinations. That's not education, that's indoctrination. They even try to justify it by quoting Mao and holding up violent revolution as some kind of noble model. So much for defending free speech. What they really mean is free speech only if you agree with them. That's the exact mindset that shuts down debate, censors dissent, and turns campuses into echo chambers. Do you think universities have become breeding grounds for this kind of extremism? Or is this just one example of how far gone things already are? Tell me what you think in the comments. I want to hear if you've seen the same trend in schools or online.
I was like, somebody actually posted this.
A Barrington teacher tonight put on paid leave after parents say the teacher posted inappropriate comments on social media about the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
No remorse, no nothing. It was more so, oh, he got what was coming for him.
Parents say the post in question was a TikTok video. It's since been taken down, but parents we spoke with still saw it.
It was a post of a male teacher who is saying that the killing was justifiable.
Barrington Superintendent Chris Ashley first announced the school's actions to parents over email before addressing the issue again at tonight's school committee meeting.
We will be conducting an outside investigation into this. We can't discuss the details.
Any acts of political violence cannot be tolerated.
Parents tell us the teacher in the alleged video works in the high school and is involved in the union. Multiple parents spoke out during public comment tonight.
Having the most evil reaction to someone's death is literally disgusting.
To make our students feel safe, our conservative students feel safe, our Christian students feel safe, he needs to be removed.
The school said that he's now on paid administrative leave. Is that enough?
No, it sets the precedent that you can say whatever you want on the internet and nothing will ever happen.
And I asked the school committee for the name of that teacher. They wouldn't give it to me. On Monday, the school committee will determine who that independent investigator is going to.
I'm Jakar.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Brandon. And as the people of the youth, we've decided to come up and give our perspective on the subject, considering it is our teacher and one of the people that will guide our futures. No matter what anyone says to me, I will never stand for violence, especially of a man who was publicly murdered in front of his wife, one of his children, thousands of students, and other bystanders. Charlie was not a racist, he did not hurt anyone sexually, and he did not kill anyone. Therefore, this was an unjustified cause of death that should never be celebrated. So if you ask me, Charlie's children do not deserve to grow up without their father. Charlie's wife did not deserve to lose her husband. Charlie did not deserve to lose his life because of a different opinion. But this teacher deserves to lose his job.
As civilians and people of our great country, we hold ourselves to a higher standard than to support, or worse yet, rejoice in violence. Someone who advocated for an arrested murderer and assassinator of one of the greatest debaters and free speakers of our time should have no place in the classroom, more so around young children.
As a student of Barrington High, I do not feel comfortable or safe with one of our teachers supporting violence. We believe this world needs God because something as cruel as this should never be celebrated. God bless Charlie Kirk.
When even students are standing up and saying, "This is wrong," you know the mask has slipped. These kids get it. Mocking the death of a father, a husband, and a public figure isn't bravery, it's cruelty. And if a teacher feels comfortable praising political violence in front of students, then that teacher has no business shaping young minds. The left loves to lecture about compassion, but here compassion only shows up when it's convenient. Hypocrisy doesn't get clearer than this. But we're not done with this topic yet, because we have someone defending this teacher and thinking that this is freedom of thought. Let's not waste time.
Jeff Turner, 7 Lincoln Avenue. For full disclosure, I am a paid coach at Barrington High School, but I did not have any personal interactions with the teacher we're talking about tonight. I rise today with deep concern over the treatment of one of our most dedicated and life-changing teachers. This is a person who has poured his heart out into his students, including my own children who went to Barrington High School, and has changed student lives for the better. And yet, for one online comment in which he described a professional provocateur who championed intimidation for his personal profit, intemperately. Most of that post is entirely factual. From my watching of it, he only made 2 opinion comments. Were they insensitive? Perhaps. But let us be clear, by putting a teacher on leave in this circumstance, that is a dangerous move. First, it chills the speech of every faculty member in the school system. When a teacher can be punished for expressing a blunt opinion outside of school hours, every other teacher will think twice about expressing an opinion or speaking truth to power, not just on their own time, but in the classroom as well. That silence does not serve education. It breeds fear and conformity. Second, we must reject the notion I've heard around town that students might somehow be intimidated by this teacher's commentary, which included, by my count, 1 sharp phrase. If a young person truly feels shaken by words so mild, especially in contrast to Mr. Kirk's words, the appropriate response is to offer these children perspective and resilience, not to punish a teacher for speaking candidly. It is not the job of this district to shield students from the reality that sometimes adults express strong opinions. Third, let us recognize that even placing this teacher on paid administration leave is a defamatory act. It broadcasts to the community that he is somehow unsafe or unfit, when in reality, he was exercising his free speech on his own time. His reputation as a teacher earned through years of service has been dragged through the mud. We should also ask, what message are we sending to students in a circumstance like this? That free expression should be punished? That truth should be muzzled if it ruffles feathers? That character assassination is more acceptable than a debate here in town? That's not civics, that's not democracy, that's cowardice. This teacher deserves our defense, not our suspicion. He deserves reinstatement, not humiliation, and the school administration owes him an apology, not a leave of absence. If we allow this kind of overreach to stand, we endanger not just one man's career, but the very principles of free speech, academic freedom, and common sense that should guide this school system. Thank you.
Here we go again. Excuses piled up to defend a teacher who openly celebrated political violence. We hear words like free speech and academic freedom, but let's be real. This isn't about sharing a blunt opinion. It's about crossing a moral line. When you normalize cheering for someone's death, you don't get to hide behind the First Amendment and call it truth to power. That's not bravery, it's cowardice, wrapped in intellectual jargon. And what message does it send to students? That hatred is acceptable as long as you dress it up with fancy words? That's not education, that's indoctrination. Do you think schools are protecting free speech here, or just protecting their own when they get caught? But anyway, in our next video, being Christian is equated with being a white supremacist in a university textbook. Let's move on to our video.
I might be getting canceled for this, but I'm kind of pissed off. Anyway, I'm a senior in college and I'm in international public relations, and I was told to read Chapter 8 this week of International Public Relations, Negotiating Culture, Identity, and Power. I'm reading, I just opened it up to Chapter 8 about 5 minutes ago. I've been sitting here in awe. Chapter 8 is titled Contested Identities, Shifting Publics in a Globalized World. I'm gonna read you what I just read and where I stopped. I think it's the second sentence, maybe the third. Identity may be one of the most contentious words of the new millennium. An internet search produces the following modifiers for identity: corporate, sexual, digital, public, racial, national, brand, and even Christian. A US-based white supremacist group. I'm pissed. So I would just like to say that as a Christian, if you're reading this and you're not a Christian and you're in college, I am not a white supremacist. So can we cancel these authors? Or are we gonna cancel me?
Hey guys, just stop real quick and pray with me. Lord, you say, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. In this moment, please, Lord, calm my restless mind, quiet my anxious heart. Help me set aside distractions and choose what gives life and gives peace. Isaiah 26:3, you keep in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed on you. Lord, fill me with strength to turn my attention toward you, that I find rest and joy in your presence. Amen. Okay, now you can continue strolling, or you can turn your phone off and go outside. Might I suggest the latter? Go get some sunshine, go look at a tree, touch some grass, call a friend. If you've got time to be on your phone right now, you've got time to do your to-do list, and you've got time to reach out to somebody in need and share this prayer with them. Amen.
It's telling, isn't it? A simple prayer online, quoting scripture, and you just know some people are already itching to label it offensive or problematic. Meanwhile, the same platforms that silence faith will boost the most toxic garbage all day long. That double standard says everything. You're free to express anything except belief in God. And yet, moments like this prove that real peace doesn't come from politics or trends, it comes from faith. Do you think this is why so many people are quietly turning back to faith, even while the culture tries to shame them for it? But anyway, you know I saved the craziest video for last, so let's listen to this young man's rebellion and evaluate it.
Oh, I'll be damned if I see another person that got fired from their job for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death come and bitch about the fact that they lost their job, as if Charlie Kirk didn't lose his life for his opinion.
Are we for real?
Losing your job is nothing compared to what Charlie lost.
Lose your pink meat.
What I really want you to see is the fact that you don't think you should lose your job over the opinions that you have.
Spit it out!
Yet you think it's okay for Charlie to die over the opinions he had.
What?
You people are living contradictions. You can always get a better job, you can always fix yourself, heal yourself, change your opinion, do whatever because you're alive.
You are spitting.
There's no more mistakes Charlie Kirk can make. He can't change his mind on any opinions that you might have thought he was wrong about because his life was ended. All of y'all were saying, oh my God, it's karma, that's why he got shot. You don't think you accumulated any bad karma after you celebrated someone dying? Y'all are tweaking. Hopefully the love of Jesus Christ heals that heart of yours.
This nails it. People crying over losing their jobs while forgetting Charlie Kirk lost his life for simply speaking his opinions. That's the ultimate contradiction. You can always find another job, but Charlie doesn't get another chance at life. And the hypocrisy is insane. The same people chanting karma when he was killed suddenly play the victim when accountability lands on them. If you can celebrate death, don't act shocked when the consequences circle back to you. At the end of the day, this isn't complicated. Mocking someone's death will always come back to haunt you. For years, they weaponized cancel culture against anyone they disagreed with, and now they're the ones tasting their own medicine. Actions have consequences, and no amount of excuses can erase that. But I want to know what you think. Does this feel like accountability, or do you think the double standards will keep going unchecked? Let me know in the comments. And if you've seen enough hypocrisy for one day, share this video so more people wake up to what's really happening.